Welcome. Hey, you guys caught me practicing the guitar in my time off. Starting a band. It's me, Mr. Kranz, Mr. Dilcher, lead singer, Mr. Cunningham, with Mr. Ryan on drums. We're calling ourselves Mr. Cunningham and the guys. So, there you go. Record will drop soon. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do these twice a week, Mondays, from the previous week. I'll do it one Friday and stuff. I'm going to try to answer some of your questions from CNN 10, maybe some questions you have on other social studies related things. Shoot me emails. You have questions. Put the questions in the CNN 10 stuff. Let's see what you got. I won't do everyone's questions. I'll do the ones I like. We're a shirt tie for you guys. We're classing it up because 2020 is the year of being classy. Okay, Black Jack Myers. Have they found any vaccines for coronavirus? Ooh. I'm okay. No. They have found some potentially good remedies. Something called chloroquine that has shown some promise. That has helped alleviate some of the symptoms. We have yet to have an actual vaccine, though. Usually vaccines take 12 to 18 months. Unfortunately, that's kind of where we're at with that. So, like, kind of there you go in terms of that. Again, the sooner we have a vaccine, 12 to 18 months, the sooner we can put this all behind us. However, we are going to certainly restart things much sooner. I don't know where the camera right there, than that. Okay. Hudson. First Hudson. First for a lot of you. Please make sure you turn in the research project. All it really is you just finding a topic. You come up with reading 2 articles on a topic and kind of going through the thing. I'm being very patient about this. So please get that in. I know not everyone has. Hudson, looking your way. Aisa, also looking your way. Just get those in. I'd appreciate it. Okay. Hudson, one of your questions. How many bars of soap does he have? I don't know. I have no idea. But I found people only gym or small business got closed. I think we could all agree that the worst thing to happen during the coronavirus is certainly the closing of gyms, because these are gains that are lost forever, and we can't get these gains back. Thankfully, if you're Mr. Frank, you got the old church iron in your basement, and the gains train can keep on rolling into the station 24/7, 365, no days off. All right, next question. Tino, how are we going to stop this? Magic, probably. No, that wouldn't be bad. So, Tino, good question. How are we going to stop this? A few different ways. One is certainly vaccine. That'd be the ultimate way of stopping it. The social distancing has certainly helped. There's no question it has actually taken that steep curve and flattened the curve. Hashtag flatten the curve. Hashtag where are the gains? Once summer hits, a lot of diseases just die in summer with the heat. That's a possibility, so that would be great if that could happen as well. Chloroquine, like I talked about before, the Z-Pack. There's different things out there that are starting to show a lot of promise and making some really substantial changes in this. Ultimately, though, it's going to be a vaccine that will stop this. Aisa, work on your project. Okay. Is the coronavirus going to get better or worse than being quarantined? It's going to get better. It's going to get better, and I can say it because statistically it has. If you look at all the evidence, and just because this is being filmed April 6th, 2020, over the weekend, some of the estimates for the coronavirus in terms of projections were estimated back down, so that they now have the estimation is under 90,000 killed in the United States. Still, that's way, way too high, but certainly these projections are much better than the 2.2 million that were projected at one point in time. So the quarantining, as frustrating as it is actually working. Morgan. Turn your project. Okay. Morgan, one of her questions was, Mr. Frank, why are you not one of the CNN heroes? It's because no one's nominated me, obviously. Otherwise, I'm sure I'd be up there for all the heroic things I've done in the past 12 months. If a homeless person has corona, can they go to the hospital? Yes, they can. That is a phenomenal question, Morgan. Yes, they can. Right now, a lot of the health insurance providers and things like that are being extremely lenient on a lot of that stuff, understanding that. These are unique situations. So, Morgan, that's an excellent question. Holly. What are all the big events or places being shut down? Things like that. Okay. So one of the things that's going to be very interesting, especially like people like me who are big sports fans, people who are music fans, is even after we start getting back to work, which I hope is sooner than later, but I don't think it's going to last into June. Again, we'll see. Wisconsin's going to be different than the rest of the country, so it's a state-by-state type thing. But big sporting events, big concerts, things like that, that's going to be a little while longer. They're already talking about that starting off sports seasons in the middle of summer. They will not have fans there for a little bit. That could last until the beginning of football season, maybe even be into it a little bit. So we'll see what happens there, but certainly that's the plan. A lot of these concert sporting events either going to be shut down or very restricted access to these things for a period of time. Caleb, how and why is the coronavirus spreading so quickly? I think it's a combination of different things. One is that we didn't really have great knowledge of how the spread to start off with, mostly because the Chinese lied to us. Don't trust China. There, write that down. But you shouldn't have been trusting China anyway. It's a communist government that restricts the freedom of its own citizens. Why would you trust them to begin with? Foolish. However, they were not very truthful on the spread of coronavirus or the number of infections, so we did not think it was as infectious as it has turned out to be. It spread so quickly because person-to-person contact, and because you can't tell if you have coronavirus for at least 14 days, that you could have a person who seems to be symptom-free spreading it to thousands of people. That's why the quarantine thing has actually worked, because it's been able to negate that. But that's why it spread so quickly. Misinformation and just the nature of the virus. Hudson asked Mr. Frank, that's me, Mr. Frank, what's your favorite color? The color's blue. It goes in my eyes very well, kind of pops a little bit. And so, Hudson, I really appreciate that question. That means a lot to me. You also asked when is COVID-19 going to end? Once we get a vaccine. There you go. Hudson, good work. Keep believing yourself. Okay. Aisa, is it just the United Kingdom that has wild animals on the streets? No, there are many areas in the United States where there are now wild animals on the street. Buffalo, New York had buffaloes walking through it. So it is amazing kind of some of those things that are happening as a result of people self-isolating or people kind of quarantining themselves. So not just the United Kingdom, throughout the world that's happening. Certainly it's happening in the United States as well. Probably not to the same extent, because in the U.S. we already have a pretty vibrant animal population. Anyway, most of the United States is not very well populated. So there you go. Okay, Jack. Jack asked a very good question. Do they have burgers in Japan? They do. They do. They certainly have McDonald's in Japan. They have all that crazy stuff in Japan. But burgers are one of the things they do definitely have. So, question for you guys. Email me, answers potentially. We'll see. I always say that and no one does. But what's your favorite burger? It's a good question. It's a good question. That's a good coronavirus question. What's your favorite burger? Should we start a restaurant after this? Right now, we obviously shouldn't. Me personally, you give me 2 quarter pounders, some bacon, pepper jack cheese, some chipotle mayo. Perfect. It's a perfect burger. I created the perfect burger. You're welcome, Jack. Try it at home. Perfect burger. Camera's here. Here. Favorite burger. Okay. Morgan, question. Mr. Frank, how many people have died from coronavirus in New York as of April 6, 2020? Around 4,000. That number's going to grow. I don't want to say that, but it's true. It's going to get higher. Some of the data from the weekend certainly says that number's going down percentage-wise, but again, the next 2 weeks, they say, are going to be the 2 most crucial weeks, and we'll have a much better indication of kind of where we're heading with things after. Seth, what percent of people are dying from coronavirus? It's tough to tell, because their theory is that there's probably hundreds of thousands of people who have had coronavirus but just have never reported it. And so the mortality rate could be significantly lower than what they're thinking. I've seen anywhere between 4%, which is insanely high, to like 0.6%, which is still 6 times worse than the flu, but it's obviously less than 4%. We aren't sure. I'm probably not going to be able to really know that for a while. Recent things I've seen is around 1%, like 1.4 maybe, which again, that's still way too high. That's still a very deadly disease, but it's certainly significantly less than 4. In Italy right now, their percentage is around like 11%. It's also because Italy has an older population, more health factors or more health risks, things like that. So there you go. DJ, why do they never talk about Wisconsin when it comes to corona? We have a lot. We do not have a lot. Not in comparison to like our larger cities and things like that. Rural areas tend to not have as many. A lot of states are dealing with this stuff on their own. Wisconsin is in a pretty good place right now in terms of like our number of hospital beds, things like that. So one of the reasons why they don't talk about Wisconsin is because Wisconsin's actually doing a pretty good job of handling this. That's actually one of the reasons why. Good news does not usually make headlines. That's why people don't talk about it. Holly asks, how is corona spread or COVID-19 spread? Well, they think right now it's person-to-person contact. That's how they think it's spread. And it's like molecules like from like the mouth, saliva, things like that, where like respiratory stuff. The problem is we still don't know enough about the virus to really have like 100%, okay, this is how it spreads 100%, but that's kind of the going theory like on this and stuff. So kind of there you go. And that's one of the reasons why the self-quarantining and the self-distancing has kind of been so big. All right. Okay, a couple things here. For week 2 of this, for those who did not do week 1 research project, you know who you are. But week 2 is just using the exact same topic, just finding 2 new articles about that topic. Then next week, what we're going to do is we're going to put that into an actual project, and that'll be the biggest grade. Certainly, if you've not done that so far, I'm being a little lenient on this because I understand this is a crazy situation. After that, we're going to go back to actually history stuff. So there'll be more videos like this, entertaining videos, maybe me playing music, maybe me having some interesting guest stars. Maybe I'll turn this into like almost a talk show. You guys give me your suggestions. Email me suggestions. Email a potential guest host. Maybe I'll Skype people in. I don't know. We'll see what it is. Okay, stay safe. Wash your hands. Social distance. Believe in yourself. Believe in America. Have a good day.